What would you say that most business owners that you work with, maybe there's a gap between what they think their business is worth and what it might actually be worth from the moment that you start talking to them?
Yeah, for many, although it seems to go in two different directions, right? It's either they've thought about selling, they've done a little work, and they think it should be worth a lot more, or particularly with service businesses, they've not contemplated that there is a value to the business, and they're maybe just thinking they're going to work their last project, and that's going to be the end of the business. It'll just wind down. So the first step is believing it's sellable and looking at the things that are going to make it sellable. And then the second is kind of getting those things that are looking at the valuation and the potential sale price to line up.
Okay, and what are some of the most important things that maybe you and Kathy worked on that actually drove a higher value for her company?
Well, I think Kathy had a relatively small company in terms of number of people, right? So a big part of it was making sure that the processes were documented. There was a way of doing business, because that was, I think, really important. She also did a lot of work on the sales process and creating an active pipeline that, I think when someone could look at it and see that there was going to be a continuation of revenue and expectation there, that was a big deal. Profit margin is always a big deal. What are we getting out of the projects that we're working on? So those are probably some of the biggest things, I would think.
Okay. And what do you think is, I know a lot of business owners would ask this question of, as far as timeline goes, what do you think is a reasonable timeline to make changes like what you just mentioned in a business?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's probably maybe 18 to 24 months. We always try to look at a window if someone hasn't even started the process of about 5 years, and it's because it's going to take a little time to make changes, and then you want that window of time where you can see those changes showing up in several years of financial statements. I know Paulo talked a lot about consistency of numbers, right? Seeing some consistency, reasonable expectations of a buyer. So, if you want that window of time and you have to make some improvements to get there, that's probably about the right time frame. Could be a little longer, but if you don't have that much time frame, there are things you can do fairly quickly to make it, at least move things in the right direction.